Hey man, hopefully you understand me, Param. So, being in a competitive clan, from my experience, I'm gonna tell you from step one to the end. All right, there's no ending to this. All right, so I actually been to Dead Paris for since July till now. I left there a month ago, and I decided to came back because I thought about them. I still think about them beyond this point. They built me to the character that I am today, and if I didn't go to Dead Parrots, I would have never probably exist ever in y'all lives. So getting to the point of competitive clans. So competitive clans, yes, it is competitive. It's serious. It's a kind of it's strict depending of where you're at. By the way, how they're gonna treat you. There's times when the first step, what I would do if I were you, I will actually just give a week to see how it goes. And if you feel you trust your instincts, then tell them that let's say. So for me, I have a form of autism. All right, a week later, I didn't feel comfortable in there, so I left and I told the guy I have this and this, and I jumped the gun. It happens. I jumped the gun. I didn't know the guy meant like this, and I thought he was an asshole like Ruthless, but he's nothing like Ruthless after all. He's a good guy. His name is Oscar, and now he knows I have a form of autism. So getting to the point, make sure that you tell them if you have any problems. You got to tell them right away. You cannot tell them later. Then, just like what I did, which they let me back into the clan. Dead Paris did. They did. The leader knew everyone. Not everyone, just people that I trust. There knew. Um, that's what I would do first. Try to get used to the clan, how to get it to the field, how you're gonna fit in your schedule. That's what I would do too as well. How are you gonna manage time? How are you going to get your attack-ins? Like let's say you have lunch at 12 and war ends at 12. You gotta manage time. That's the most important thing there. How are you gonna manage time in this clan, in this competitive war clan? Number two, if you're gonna attack a base and you want you want to go for it, whatever the way the war is. Let's say for the war is that you had to attack. You're a tunnel 11. You got to attack tunnel 12 and beyond. Listen. The first thing is that you listen, and if you don't understand what they're asking you to do, ask for clarification. Don't be stupid. Because if you don't ask them for clarification, they're gonna think that you're a know-it-all. You know what they're talking about. Always ask for questions because in a competitive war clan, they work together to meet to their goals. They work together to kick some ass, dude, and that's how it goes in competitive war clans. Number three, in a competitive war clan, they always do a lot of friendly challenges. They always challenge each other. They always do. They adjust their bases. That's what you should be doing as well. Take your time off at. If you have to study, you gotta go study, dude. End of the story. Because what I'm doing right now is the most shitty mistake I'm doing. I'm playing Clash at the same time I'm trying to study. Don't do that. Don't do what I do. Period. School is number one, dude. And make sure you tell them that you do have to study anyways because you're in school. Hopefully I am correct. Here's another thing. Yes, do a lot of friendly challenges with them. Ask them for advices. What do you think about my attack? What do you think about my base? Give me some feedback. They're gonna listen to you. And if they're not willing to listen to you, they don't care about you. Just like fucking J-Licks, alright? They're not even a fucking real war league. I heard so much stuff about them. I don't want to get into it. I want to get to the main of helping you about what is a competitive war clan is about. There's gonna be war. I hope you do understand the in competitive war clans they use abbreviations. For example, Murph holes. Murph holes are gaps in your tunnel hall bases. You gotta know those words, and if you don't know the words, you gotta ask right away. Now, if you don't know the words and you're afraid to ask them, ask me. I am free to explain you word by word of what they're saying and break it down to you if you want me to. And I won't mind doing it, actually. I really don't mind, since I'm your friend. And if you were not my friend or not, then I would still help you, either way. Okay. Number 4. When you're in a competitive war clan, you got to make sure that... Hold on. Number 4. So in a competitive war clan, you need to... Hold on 1 second. I just forgot about it. Alright, so number 4 is that when you're in war and you don't know how to attack that base, ask one of the co-leaders in there. Ask someone that, ask anyone, at least. To say, hey, I was thinking, what if I try to go in this angle at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock with Peck up a back coming to that direction with E-Drag and stuff? If you show them that you care, you want to plan before you attack, that's what a competitive war clan does. They do a lot of planning. They do a lot of sketching to do, The goal is that you get that idea of planning it and get the idea of the clarification of what they're asking you to do when they help you. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to help you on this base. This base is a 4-square base. You don't know what to use. I tell you to use Pekka. Start at 8, 7 o'clock. Go through with the E-Drag in the middle at 3 o'clock, coming through with the Pekkas and etc. with Rage, right? If you don't understand that, you got to tell them right away. Don't tell them at the end. Just tell them, well, you could do either way. Whatever feels the best for you, It's up to you. Number 5. So number 4, secondly, you got to, if you don't know how to attack a base, just ask for help, because it's gonna hurt you that when they find out that, you're not a good attacker, you're not asking for help, and then that's when they're gonna see that you're not asking for help. That's what it is. Number 5. When you're in a competitive war clans, yes, it is strict. It's not that bad. Personally, in my experience, it wasn't that bad. I thought that Paris was really strict. They're not strict. My clan is not that really strict. To the core that they're going to take the civilian out of you when you're in boot camp. Absolutely not. No. So in some clans, yes, they are very strict, but you do have to follow it. And if you don't understand it, just ask for clarification, just like what I told you earlier. Also, you got to, if you're having problems in that clan, you got to let the leader know. Because you cannot wait in the last minute and tell him, say, hey, he was just being an asshole for me 3 months ago. The leader is not going to give a shit about that. You got to tell them immediately. When you feel like something is bothering you, something is, you feel very uncomfortable, you got to tell. You got to ask, You got to ask, say, does this guy meant it? Is this a joke? Is it humorous? If you can see that and define that, you're great. You're all good to go for that one. This is also another thing. Get to know... Number 7, technically. Get to know the players there. Talk to them. Talk to them. Well, not technically talk to them about your personal life, but talk about them about the game in general. Because for me, I talk with a lot of people that know about the game. If you don't know about Clash of Clans, you don't know about the core, base building, etc., I'm not interested in talking to you at all. I'm interested in more talking to the people that knows the game, that likes talking about Clash of Clans, that they're veterans of Clash of Clans or leaders. Doesn't matter. If you know the game, great. If you don't know the game, then I have no idea where to start with your conversation at all. So, going further down to this, is that, yes, you got to get to know I would recommend you to get to know the leader, then start from there very slowly, and get to know everyone else from there. Whatever feels the best for you. If you're good making friends, go for it, dude. But if you feel like you need to slow down, then do it that way. So whatever feels the best for you. This is another thing, though. Now, if you're feeling like the leader is treating you like a shit, then that's not the clan for you. Because if he is the leader, he or she is the leader, and they're treating you like garbage, and you see that, and you see that, when you ask for clarification, they're just bullshitting with you, then you need to leave the clan immediately, dude. That's not the clan for you, Dan. Alright? If clan members are just treating shit, the leader's not doing anything about it, he's not stopping about it, he's not giving you clarification, he's not giving you a direction in that clan, you need to leave. That's not the clan for you. Absolutely not. You know, I've been to clans that they treat me like shit so poorly that I went after them and shit just didn't go well. Don't go after him, dude. Don't make the same mistake what I did. All right. I know I'm still making similar mistakes. Just I'm telling you right now, being a little bit a hypocrite, but just telling you, do not make the same mistake what I did, going after them, attacking them, and etc. And I know you know what's best for you. Here's another thing though. When you're in a competitive war clan, and if let's say, look, just say this for example. They're not gonna like if you come in there and then you tell them you have a summon exam, because then they're gonna think that you're always gonna be out of war all the time. Now you gotta figure out how you're gonna manage time on studying and playing Clash of Clans in a competitive war clan, just like I am. I have done this 100 times through chemistry, through anatomy. I've done this, and it's not easy to manage time because you could easily forget about it, and then boom, you lost your opportunity there. You gotta tell them like, I'm busy because I've been doing this and that. We all have a life out of this game. We do. I have a life out of this core. And this is what I do. I study. I know it's kind of dark. Maybe if I turn off the light, you can actually see what I do every day when I come home. I study right here. This is my study area. This is where I study anatomy. This is where I do all my computer and shit. All right. This is where I go on this score and sometimes do it at the same time, but don't do what I do, all right? Study first and then get on Clash. If you know war ends in 2 hours and you're studying, do the attacks later then, But please, when they're telling you do not wait in the last minute, do not wait in the last minute when you're about to do your attacks. Because that's when they know that you don't care about being in their clan anyways. You care we're just waiting for the last minute. Waiting for the last minute is the worst thing you should never do in a competitive war clan. No. Because when you wait in the last minute, you're putting a hole of other players who are willing to take on that base and boom, restart it. And it's not good when you do that. Which is a mistake. I did that 2 days ago. I was in Dead Parrots, I came back for the first time. I didn't do my 2 war attacks, and I got skull for that reason. It happens. It literally happens, If you get skull for that reason, just move on. Just say, hey, I'm gonna get my attacks in. Done, dude. Period. You don't have to say anything to the guy. If you had something that was going on, I wouldn't recommend you if you didn't think it was coming right at you, let them know. Let them know. Not where everyone could see it. Do it privately with the leader, with someone that you trust already in that clan. Someone that you know that he or ain't shit is gonna tell, right? That's one of the things you gotta do too. This is also another thing. Actually, I'm going to wrap it up, actually. I'm not sure if I'm missing any other points. I'm just thinking right now. There's a lot of dots going in my head about Dead Parrots. I'm just thinking about just things. Actually, 2 things. Okay. So, in this other part, what I recommend you to do is that you do a lot of in your free time. I'm not telling you don't do this during your school time, your study time. I'm asking you to do it in your free time when you're available for yourself. Go on YouTube, dude. If you're a Tunnel 11, you're a Tunnel 12, I don't care what you are. Do a lot of YouTubing. Look at, new strategies you want to do. I didn't do that. They told me that I should do that, and I did. It did help me a lot. I looked through a lot of Itsu stuff. He's from Tribe Gaming. He does a lot of this new Sue, Mass Hogs, and etc. Pekko Bobat. Look at Clash with Eric. He has plenty of videos out there that it will help you definitely. Itsu Gaming is my definitely highest recommendation. His English version is better than his German, obviously. Look at videos that on YouTube that you want to learn something new, a new war strategy, a new war attack that you're motivated. Because when you're in a competitive war clan, all those people there, they're eager to learn. They're motivated. They're motivated to kick some ass. They're motivated to learn new things, how to play better, how to do base building, how when they give suggestions and feedback. Always take those feedbacks seriously. Now, there could be two options. You choose one or the other. You try that one, you could try the other. Up to you. All right? Okay. So yeah, go on YouTube. Go search up new attacks, how to be a better base builder. Itsu Gaming is my number one recommendation to you. My number two is Clash with Eric. Off my mind, those are my two best options to you because they know shit a lot. They've been in league clans. They've been in competitive clans. They're more experienced. They know what they're talking about, and I know what they're talking about. Effectively. Last of all I want to say is that just be yourself. Don't try to portray someone, because what I do in competitive war clans, I do not do that. I actually never try to portray to be someone else. Now, when you do that, then they're going to think that, hey, this is the type of guy. He's cool, chill, kind-hearted. But if you turn out something else, it's just going to be, pointless. They're going to be thinking like you're, I don't know how to put this in words to you. More of a confusing guy to them. Because if you're trying to portray to be like Anakin Skywalker, and in the next moment you're just being kind-hearted as heck, then they're just gonna be like, not my type of guy. He's not being himself. Be yourself, dude. Be yourself. If you're funny, if you know how to do stuff, say stuff, if you're talented, go for it. Say it. Now, things about competitive war clans, yes, everything is strict, but things that y'all could do is fun there is obviously friendly challenges, which is the most fun part, where you could give feedback. If someone's restart your base, I would recommend you to look over the base. Ask for from them feedback. Hey, you restart my base. You might, give me feedback. There's a lot of options out there, opportunities that are out there that are open. There's a lot of resources out there when you're in a competitive war clan. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of resources. YouTube is number one out there. Clash with Eric, Itsu Gaming, just restating the simple things to you. You have me, obviously. You have William. You have all these other people. In Affinity Network, you are free to ask us, because we're experienced, technically. Well, I'm more experienced because I was in Dead Parrots, and that's somewhat I guess a league clan, but it's a retired, full of retired league players that used to be in one hive and so on. But that's not the point, dude. All I gotta say is that good luck being in a competitive war clan. In the first week, you might feel different. Sure, it's gonna feel shit different. It felt so different for me, dude, because I was not expecting this and that. That's how the way it goes. If you do need clarification, you got to tell them. You got to tell them that you don't understand it. Can you break it down for you? Can you tell me what is a morpho? Can you tell me what's scouting? If you know what all that is, then you're good to go. Again, just be yourself, and you got this. You got this, man. Clash on. This is pretty much it. If you have any more questions, I am free to open and ask on Discord for you. And I hope you have a good day or a good night. I don't know what time is in India.